everybody, welcome back to Motorcycle Junkie, and we're going to have a break from the Hawanio because I'm kind of got bored with that now, and there's electrical work needs doing which I'm not a fan of, so we'll sort of kick that one into the long grass for the time being. Oh, must get an headlight ordered actually, while I'm here I need to know how big that is. Ooh, I misses. Take measure somewhere, because these headlights come in various different sizes. Looks like 6-inch. So 6-inch headlight, right, must get one of them ordered. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at this. I've had so many emails and messages and what have you asking people saying, when you're getting back to the GPZ500? I don't know. I'm kind of pissed off about it, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to have a bit of a tinker today. Probably just an initial assessment, just to see where we lie. For those that didn't see the first video or two, let me stand in here out the way of the shed, out the way of the wind. For those who didn't catch the first video or two, I got stitched up rotten with this, partly my own fault. I didn't do checks that I know I should have done. Guy told me it was a runner. He seemed genuine, couldn't be asked to check it, took him on his word, and I paid 400 quid for it. It's not worth anywhere near 400 quid. When I first passed my test many years ago, a GPZ500S was the first bike I ever had. So when I see one come up for sale, I thought, yeah, nostalgia and all of that, you know, rose tinted spectacles, we'll have that. And we went wading in there and bought it. Couldn't start it. The starter motor was just clicking. I suspected it was hydrolocked, because these engines, this and the ER5, which is essentially the same engine, they do have a reputation of the cylinders filling up with fuel and hydrolocking, so I thought, it's just hydrolock, not a problem. Took the plugs out. One of the plugs, the end of it's completely melted off, so what I now suspect is that the remnants of that plug have gone down the bore and essentially locked up the engine, so she could well be fucked. But hopefully we will try and answer that question today. Even if it's fucked, I would still like to do it. I know I'm going to lose money on it, but I'd still like to do it. And I believe, I'm sure someone out there will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure an ER5 engine is exactly the same, possibly in a different state of tune, but the same engine essentially. Anyway, what I want to do is get my boroscope out and have a look down the bore, but I haven't got a boroscope. So what I'm probably going to do is whip that plug out the end, because I need to get something on the crank to try and slowly turn the engine over. Yeah, it's not going to be that, that's the clutch side. So what I need is to get something in there, get that plug out, and just see if we can just put some pressure on it and turn the engine over. Not ideal, because like I said, I need a boroscope. I need to be looking inside it and getting a boroscope in there and seeing what we've got before we do anything stupid like turn it over. But I'm going to turn it over anyway, because I'm sort of semi-convinced myself that the engine is fucked anyway. So let's see if we can, is that going to undo? Yes. Right, what we got in there? A big fuck off nut. Right, what do you reckon that is? 14mm? 14mm, my guess. So one of them. Get on there, you bastard. Doing it one-handed. Okay. Let's just see what happens if I attempt to put some on there and turn it. surprisingly, it turns. Well, nope, she's hit solid. She's hit solid there. Let's go back the other way. And she's hit solid there. So, what do you reckon? Valve stuck open maybe? So she'll go so far. But I can't get a full revolution, so she's locked up there. So it's turning over though, which is a big surprise to me. Okay, seat off, tank off. Let's see what sort of job it is to get the head off it. Back soon. Okay, this is what I've got. Got the side panels off, as you can see. Got the tank off, got the seat off. I've got all these cables going across the top of the head, which isn't going to make getting it off easy. Fucking wind, hang on. I might get it into the shed actually, because I can't see can't hear a fucking thing. Right, yeah, I'm going to have to show you. Right, in order to get rid of those cables, I need to take the carbs off. In order to take the carbs off, I need to take the airbox off. In order to take the airbox off, I've got to remove this big fuck off bracket here. And in order to remove that big fuck off bracket here, it looks like I've got to move this fuck off bracket here. So the job is snowballing. Okay, apologies again if the sound quality is suffering. I actually had a complaint on my channel the other day from a guy. I forgot his name, but he made some comment about it looked like you filmed it on a potato from the 1980s or something. Well, I'll do my best, mate, and I ain't forcing you to watch it. All I can say. But, yeah, there's just no pleasing some people. What I do film on, unlike most people, and maybe I should change, but I'll tell you, I'll wear this into the shed. Yeah, unlike most people, I do not film on a phone. I actually film with an actual video camera. It's, what is it? Hang on. Canon something or other. Canon Legira HFR606. That's what 99% of the videos that I've put out so far have been filmed on. But I mean, I'll take that guy's comments into account, and I invite you lot to back him or not. Is the video quality poor? I mean, if it is, I shall look at investing into something better. But nobody's ever complained about it before. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let me get this bike wheeled into the shed, and then we can do it without all that wind shit. Right, I think that's about the best I can get you in at, actually. No room in here, which is why I'm squeezing by the camera. So, right, let's just see if this shite will come off without having to do that bracket behind it. So generally, from what I can see, a really good one of these, yeah, with an MOT all up and running, nothing wrong with it, of about this vintage, tend to make between 1200 and 1600 quid. You can get a runner, you know, probably in this sort of condition, say, but all up and running with an MOT. You can generally pick them up, from what I can see, for about 800 quid. So I'm already 400 quid in. It's not really about the money, you know, 400 quid. Yeah, I can live with that. I just don't like being lied to. He said it was all up and running. Clearly it wasn't. But like I say, I accept fully that I'm partly responsible because I didn't do my due diligence and I got my fingers burnt. So anyway, that's that little silly bracket off. I might be able to just I might be able to just whip them carbs off and sort of jiggle them out and bend the boots and everything, but generally the rubber boots on these things are go rock hard on a bike this age. And, yeah, not so easy. Right, let me get a Phillips. Come on, step out of the way. You're in my way. You're in my way. I'm going to try and start getting that airbox undone and see what's holding it. And no, I haven't got any JIS screwdrivers before you all start having a go at me. I ought to get some. Right, so there's 2 screws on the top. I don't really know how to take this off. I'm just undoing screws and see where we end up. Okay, 2 more down the bottom here. In an ideal world, what I would like to do to this bike, and don't hold me to this because I have great ideas and never follow them through, but what I would like to do is something along the lines of what Nat's doing at the minute, Nat Knackershard. If you haven't followed him, go ahead and have a quick peep at his channel, but he's working on a Yamaha, is it a Yamaha FJ maybe? I'm not sure, forgot, but he's tore it down to a bare frame, and that's precisely what I'd like to do to this. Even though it isn't worth it, I would still like to do that, and then have the frame powder coated and shot blasted and then start building it up from scratch. That's going to cost a lot of money and far more than the bike's worth, but I would still like to do it. That's the air cleaner. Don't seem to be in bad shape, but now I need to get the air cleaner box itself free from the frame. So what's holding the bastard in? Oh, for fuck's sake. It's a massive thing. It goes all the way back here. That's a big old job. Right, I'm going to work on that and then I'll bring you back when I'm got as far as I've got. Right, so we've had to take both those side panels off, which are the side of the bike there. One screw was a bastard, but that's to be expected, you always get one. I've pulled the box off the carburettor, and I'm kind of hoping that just pull out now, but what's stopping it? There we go. There's something stopping it. That boot's just come off. So they're quite pliable actually. I've got a green box here which I'm carefully stashing all the bits in. My daughter works at a supermarket and she acquires those and they're bloody useful. Right, there's a, oh I see, it's the breather pipe for the battery holding it, which I've just pulled off. Now what's stopping it? Oh come on you twat, there's like a bit of plastic there sticking out the side that's catching on the frame. So there we go. Ew. Right, I am going to screw that back together so that I don't lose all the little bits. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this frame's definitely going to need some work. I'm hoping that it's all solid, because if I got if we're talking new frame and new engine, we're talking scrapyard, aren't we? Fuck's sake. Right. Next thing I'm going to do, off camera, because I can't hold the camera and swing the tools at the same time, but I'm going to undo those Jubilee clips or band clamps, or whatever you want to call them, holding the carb onto the head, onto the cylinder, whatever you want to call it. Disconnect all those cables. How does that feel anyway? Yeah. Throttle action is quite nice. Then we'll pull them carbs off and put the camera back on. Right then, carbs are off, all the cables disconnected. Don't think they're in great shape because I just pushed one of them floats up and it's stayed there. But that is the least of my worries right now. So we'll pop them in our ever-growing box of bits. Now, this is water cooled, so we need to disconnect those water pipes. No, of course I can't get in. Can I get in that way? No, of course we can't. I'll let this one. No, that's angled the other way. Might have to. I might have to get a little ratchet on them. So anyway, look, that's where we are. So we're going to disconnect those water hoses there, one there, get them out of the way. Then we can see about getting the timing gear cover off. See what that tells us. It's a slow old process, but we're getting there. Right, I've just popped those water pipes off. Very, very crusty in there, isn't it? Look at the state of that. And not a single drop of water has come out anywhere yet. Don't know if that's something I ought to be concerned about. Right, that there is what goes to the carb from that nipple there. That's really for my reference when and if I ever come around to popping it all back together. I do hope I do. So I'll get those all out the way. Right, next job is to release all those 10mm headed bolts on the top there, with a view to taking the valve cover off. I don't know if those have got to come out yet, but I have heard on the grapevine that they're a bastard. Interestingly enough, that one's held in with a Phillips head screw, that one's held in with a 10mm bolt. I shouldn't be surprised at a bike of this age to discover that someone's been there before me. But anyway, I'm going to pull all those 10mm bolts out and then I'll bring you back before we lift the valve cover. Right, I'm undoing these valve cover bolts, but something I've just noticed. I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera. Probably quite well actually. Who sees a problem? Fucking stroll on. No, there's no issue here whatsoever. Oh fuck. Well. Right, anyway. Carry on regardless. Right, I think I've got all the bolts out, so let's tappy and see what we get. I think what we're doing now is just seeing why this engine's fucked. I think we have to accept now that it's fucked. Right, am I missing something? Have I missed a bolt somewhere? Don't think these inspection plates have to come off, do they? I bet you all know, don't you? I bet you're saying, there's a fucking bolt, you muppet. Right, what's holding it? Do these water jacket things have to come out? Let me just have a look at that and we'll come back. Right, I'm still struggling with this valve cover. I've got the manual, and according to these, the manual, these coolant tubes here, you simply undo the bolt and pull them out. Well, no, because I've been yanking at both of these for some time and they will not come out. So apparently there's an O-ring on the end of it and they just pop out. Isn't it lovely in the Haynes manual world where you just undo a screw and pop something out? But this is the reality. So yeah, that's what I'm working on, because those have got to come out before I can remove the valve cover. Onwards and upwards. Gotcha, you bastards. I've all but destroyed it getting it out, mind you. But yeah, what a fucking stupid idea. Anyway, pop that in there. It's probably unlikely to ever go back together again anyway. There's a guy on Facebook Marketplace got a parts bike, but he wants 600 quid for it. And by the looks of it, it's not in bad shape, and this would become the parts bike. So there we go. Nothing obviously wrong there. So the problem is down in the cylinder. There we go. Right, what we're going to do next. Really, we've got to get them camshafts off, haven't we? I don't know if I'm going to do much more tonight, to be honest with you, because the weather's looking like it's going to rain. And I'm going for a ride to ski tomorrow with a few lads, so I should prep myself for that, I think. If you want to go with me, tough, because by the time this video goes out I'll have been, gone, forgot about it, come back. So more for the parts bike, for the parts bin rather. So next time when we get back to this, we'll be pulling those camshafts out and getting the head out. But she's fucked. How fucked is the only question now, but she's fucked. But I don't like giving up on a bike. I know these are old fashioned now, but look at it. I've always thought they were a good looking bike, even when I got my first one all those years ago. Anyway, for the time being, that's it. We'll get on to the next stage as and when.